Hi, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to be tackling question 1.3. Question 1.3 is a simultaneous equation. A simultaneous equation is basically an equation that has two unknowns. Two equations that has two unknowns. So the general rule is that if you have one equation and one unknown, you can solve that equation and find that unknown. Okay, obviously if there is a solution to that equation. If you have two equations, then if you have two unknowns, then you need two equations with both of those unknowns in both equations. If you have three unknowns, then you need three equations with all of those unknowns in all three equations, and so on, right? So for this one over here, there's two unknowns and two equations, and we need to solve. Okay, so let's get straight into this one over here. Let's go straight into this one over here. All right. So what do we have? Well, the first equation is x minus 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. And the second equation, that's equation number 1. And the second equation is x times y is equal to 9. This question over here is worth 5 marks. So you should spend about on average 5 marks to find a solution to this equation over here. Okay, so there's many ways that you can approach a question like this. Usually the first step that you decide to do would determine whether you're going to find your solution quickly or you're going to take long to find your solution. So the best thing to do would be to avoid things like fractions. You can't always do that, but try to avoid fractions. You basically want to change one of the equations into a form where one of the letters are written alone on the one side and everything else is on the other side, or make x the subject of the formula or make y the subject of the formula. If we look at this equation over here, equation number 1 can easily be changed into, if I take that over there, if I take the 2y over and I take the 3 over, then this equation becomes, that's not an equal sign, that's just saying that this is the same thing over here. This equation becomes x is equal to 2y plus 3, right? You took the negative 2y over, it became positive. You took the negative 3 over, it became positive 3. So now we have the first equation in terms of x, and we have the second equation over here. And then our next step would be to substitute whatever x is in the first equation into the second equation. So we are substitute equation 1 into equation 2. I'm using some weird abbreviations over here, but you should understand what I'm saying. Equation number 1 into equation number 2. And what do we get then? Well, if we take the x over here and we substitute this value over here into the x over there, then instead of having the x, we will have, this is what we will have, 2y plus 3. 2y plus 3 multiplied by y is equal to 9, right? So that's what we have over there. So now we can actually just solve this equation over here. And when we solve this one over here, we will get a value for y. Notice that the only unknown, now there's one unknown, which means we can actually solve this unknown. And once we have this unknown over here, we can actually substitute back to find the other unknown. So let's see how we're going to do this. Well, this is the same as saying y multiplied by 2y plus 3. Well, that comes from the idea that when I multiply, that multiplication is commutative basically. 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6, and 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6. So it doesn't matter how I write my multiplication, whether I write the number that I'm multiplying first or at the back, it's still going to give me the same thing. So here we're multiplying this bracket over here by y, which means I can just put the y in front. And why would I want to do that? Well, we are used to reading from left hand side to right hand side, so it just makes it easier to read. What we used to basically. So let's see. So now we have y times 2y plus 3 is equal to 9. So I can multiply this y in, and I get 2y squared. I get 2y squared plus 3y is equal to 9. And we bring this over here. So if we bring the 9 over here, then we have 2y squared plus 3y minus 9 is equal to 0. So there we go. Now we have a quadratic. Okay, and we could solve this quadratic in a few ways. Okay, the easiest way to solve any quadratic is just using the quadratic formula, which is just give it to you. It's on the formula sheet, which y is equal to, in this case it would be y is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, you could just use a quadratic formula to solve that, where of course we just need to identify our a's and b's and c's. So just to make it clear for you, this is ay squared plus by plus c, which means that c will be 9 and b will be 3 and a will be 2. Okay, you could just use that, put it in your equation over there, and get straight to get the answer. Or you could factorize. I'm not going to do factorization in this video. That would be for another lesson. Okay, so I trust that you just be able to get the answer from the quadratic equation, or you would be able to factorize it. Either way, I'll do the factorization. So if you factorize this, you would get your two brackets equal to 0. And if you follow the method of factorization, you would get that this bracket is 2y minus 3 and y plus 3. If you want me to explain to you how we get those two brackets from factorization, I can do that, but I'll do it in another video. So if you want it, you can please just leave a comment requesting that, and I will gladly make another video explaining to you exactly how we go through factorizing a quadratic like this. Okay, but that's the solution. So then we have 2y minus 3 and y plus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore 2y minus 3 is equal to 0, or y plus 3 is equal to 0. In certain questions, you actually need to factorize because they give you a mark for factorization, factorizing your quadratic. In this case specifically, they don't give you a mark for factorizing. So if you struggle with factorizing, you could jump straight to the formula, and the formula will give you the answer straight away. One value for y is 3 over 2. And the other value is y is equal to negative 3. And then what we will do is we'll take those values for y. So for each value, for y, we will have a corresponding x value. And for the other y, we'll have another corresponding x value over there. So if we substitute the 3 over 2 into the one of the original equations above, which is, we could use any one, by the way. We could use, or let's use the simplest one, xy is equal to 9. So if we substitute this into 2, then we get x times 3 over 2 equal 9. That means that x, I wrote the x over here, so let's get the bottom over here. That means that x will be equal to 9 divided by 3 over 2. 9 divided by 3 over 2, and this is also something that we can elaborate on a bit. That's the same as 9 divided by 3 over 2. I'll just do it for the sake of you guys who might not necessarily see this immediately. That's the same as 9 divided by 3 over 2, which is the same as 9 multiplied by 2 over 3, which is the same as 9 times 2, which is 18 over 3, which is equal to 6. You could just put that in your calculator. You don't have to do all of these steps over here, but I'm just showing you that x will equal to 6 when y is equal to 3 over 2 by substituting into there. And if you substitute negative 3, then you have x equal to, you have x multiplied by negative 3 is equal to 9, which means x will be equal to 9 divided by negative 3, which is just going to be negative 3. So your two options over here is x is equal to 3 over 2, or x is equal to negative 3 over there. That is your solution. I trust that's clear. Sorry for writing these random calculations at the bottom. Those are your answers. Those are your solutions for this question over here. Just to give you some insights into how they will mark you for such a question. So it's worth 5 marks. You will get, let's just do this quickly. We will get, do the blue. You will get 1 mark for changing the formula to make x the subject of the formula. That's 1 mark over there. You'll get another mark for substitution. Okay. That's 2 marks over there. You get another mark for putting it into the standard form over there. You get 1 mark for the y values, all the 2 y values. You get 1 mark for the 2 x values. That's 5 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope that's clear. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Like, share this with anybody who you think can benefit from it. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.